Oh, let's go, dude. This is a Parko, man. Decent size. There we go. Go fast, dude. Go fast. Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Caught Fishing. For this episode, I'm heading up to Fort Flagler to try out the new plastic boat. If you're not familiar with the plastic boat, I made a previous video on it with an overview. I figured it's time to test out the boat on the Sound water after I got some confidence in it from the maiden trip. See how it fares out for crabbing out here in the Sound. Alright, so we're headed to Fort Flagler today. It's my first time at this state park, so I'm pretty excited. Okay, some quick information about Fort Flagler. It's about a 2.5 hour drive from Seattle, which is relatively close by. You do have to cross the Tacoma Narrow Bridge on the way back, so be prepared for some tow. I saw online that this park also has clamming, so I'll give that a shot. In addition, something to do while I let the pot soak. The tide today is looking good for clamming at about -2, so that should be good. The tide swing is pretty big today though. I think plus or minus 10 going up and down. So I'm gonna get out, drop the pots off before a low tide, and go back in, dig for the clams, and then come back out after low tide to pick up the pots. The first thing I did after I parked was to scout out the beach. I wanted to plan out the best pathway to take the boat from the parking lot out to the water. Make sure there are no obstacles in the path that's difficult to get across or over, and to find the most efficient route. Unloading and setting up took a lot shorter now that I have experience from the previous couple trips. Taking the boat down, putting on the outboard, and loading gears on it took about 15 minutes total, which is pretty decent. The process is really fast and easy with 2 people doing it. Even loaded up with gears in the outboard, it's pretty easy to lift the boat up and drag it out to the water. This state park is really nice in that the distance from the parking lot out to the beach is really short. So it's probably about 500 feet out. Very convenient for folks who are taking out kayaks or Cartop boats like this, just to get out on the water. The wheel performed great again, going through sandy beaches and the rocky portion of the beach without any issue. Okay, once we get out to deep enough water, I started to deploy the outboard. I put a checklist of all the steps needed to start it up cold. Let me know if I'm missing anything in the comments below. One thing is you can't really let the outboard warm up doing a beach launch like this, since once it gets going, you gotta put it in forward, otherwise you risk being pushed back to shore.
Buckle in, buckle in.
One issue I had this out in is that keeping it running on the first pull. It starts up nicely, but when I push in the choke, it dies right after. Do I need to keep the choke out longer before pushing it in? Let me know in the comments below. After another couple pulls, the engine got going nicely and it was great for the rest of the trip. boat handled the minor shot pretty well. With better seating arrangement and load distributions, I didn't get any waves overboard this time. There was a good amount of space in the boat to set up the pots, load up the bait, and organize the rope for deployment. So it looks like with good space management, space availability is actually not too bad with this boat. The boat's stability was actually surprisingly good when dropping off the pots. As you can see, the boat didn't lean over noticeably and was pretty stable even with the pot out the side. Pretty good performance for crabbing with this boat so far. For this trip, I only bought 2 pots and a ring to test out the water since this is my first time at this location and also my first time taking this boat on a crabbing trip, so I didn't want to bring too much stuff to overload the boat. Okay, next up was me dropping the rings to try it out and something to do while waiting for a low tide. See if I can catch any red rocks here since the beach looks to be pretty rocky. Alright, so remember when you're using a ring, when on your way to pull up, you gotta pull up real fast, otherwise the crab will be able to escape out of the ring. So as you can see, we're pulling the rope up at a pretty big angle right here. The current's pretty strong, so we drifted quite a bit before we're able to pull it up. Again, the stability is pretty good even when pulling up the rings. No issues with the boat tilting or anything. And even when I bought the rings over, the boat was pretty stable. So pretty good performance overall so far. Alright, so we didn't get anything on the ring. I think that's because the current's too strong and we weren't able to pull the rings directly straight up. So the crab either escaped or we probably just didn't have enough of a soak time for it. Alright, so after the first pull on the rings and we didn't get anything, it was time to head back in since low tide was just about around the corner. Figured might as well do some crabbing or clamming while we're waiting.
Yo, that crab, bro? Is it big enough?
It might be. Good eyes, dude.
Oh, straight up.
That's what people do. They just go around like.
Is it?
No, he's a little bit under. A little bit under.
4.5?
Yeah. No, like half an inch small. All good, all good. Did we find our first one already right here? Okay. You know what? We're gonna go in to where it's a little bit more sandy.
So, where do these guys like to live?
So, the rocky area is gonna be for the butter clams, which we'll harvest. We can harvest after. Oh, but look at all this. Yeah, the ones on the surface usually are the ones that got ripped. So our target is butter clams today and a horse clam. See this hole right here? It was just scored in just a little bit ago.
Yeah.
So if I put a finger in, you see, oh, it comes down like that, right? Okay. Here we go. Oh, this one's alive. Okay.
Is that what we're looking for?
Yeah, it's a small one, but take it.
Right.
Keep going for the big one, man. Oh, another one. Nice. Good climb. Yeah, this is a good climb right here. Another one. Good.
Oh, that one?
Yeah. Keep it.
Got 3 right there.
Yep, got 3 right there. How you doing, man? Hanging in there?
Yeah.
Oh, another one. Oh, sick, dude. Look at this one. Good size. Whew. Oh, that's it? That's it, dude.
That's it.
Nice. This is what we're looking for.
Nice.
All right. Decent size. Oh, let's go, dude. This is a parko, man. One of the rare species right here. Nice. That's gonna be good eats. There's stuff ahead, so we're gonna. Alright, let's do it, man. We're gonna make a big hole around here and try to get down to them. Oh, so hard, there's so much rocks here. Yeah. Alright, we are 10 horse clam in, going for another 4. We got 3 right here. Doing some work, digging holes. Yes, sir. Let's go.
Alright guys, that's it for the first part of this video. We didn't quite limit out on the horse clam, but we got enough to take home for the family. Plenty to eat, especially with the near limits of the butter clams for us in additions, and a couple corcos as the cherry on top. I carry the clamming equipment along with me on the Sportyak in addition to the crabbing gears, so spaceability is actually pretty decent. After we finished clamming, we took the clams back in the 5-gallon bucket. My buddy and I used clam bags to separate our catch and limits in case we get checked. We're taking the catches back to the car first to free up space on the boat, and since the clams are pretty heavy also, the distance of the clamming spot to the parking lot is about a 5 minutes boat ride, and then another 5 minutes to head back out to the crab, and another 5 minutes to head back out to where the crab pots are dropped. So this park is very convenient for harvesting because all the clamming and crabbing is pretty much right next to each other. Alright, that's it for part 1 of this video. Tune in for part 2 for the crabbing and how I prepare the harvest afterwards. This part is primarily focused on the clamming aspect of Fort Flagler. This is a fantastic place to take friends and families clamming. The clam beach is very close by to the parking lot and you can walk over in about probably 5 to 10 minutes. The clams are plentiful and relatively easy to dig for, especially the butter clams, and even the cockroaches can be found right on the surface, only a couple inches below. The horse clam population is also quite plentiful here if you're looking to get in a good workout session. I even see folks here trying to go for a gooey duck if you're really looking for a full body workout. This beach should be great with low tides at around -1 for the basic clammings. For a 2-hour trip from Seattle, it's definitely a place worth checking out. There's even a nice shack right on the beach that provides refreshment, food, and convenient style store items for your enjoyment. Prices are actually pretty reasonable there too for a beach store. A great state park that only requires a discovery pass to access. I would definitely recommend the spot for a family picnic or a day trip out to enjoy the scenery and clamming if you're into that stuff. In the next video, I'll show the crabbing potential of this beach and how I process the harvest. Okay, thanks for watching everyone. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and until next time.